Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today, baseball. We got a full baseball slate here for Wednesday, September the 11th. And then we have 3 WNBA games to close out the card as well. So we have all of that. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we'll take a look back at what happened yesterday. Really solid day yesterday. I lost both my WNBA plays, which was frustrating. I think all 3 favorites covered, which was just great because I had 2 dogs. I had the Atlanta Dream plus 4.5. They lose by 12. And I had the Wings plus 10. They lose by 14. But the MLB comes through. Started off rough. Mets first 5 under 4.5. Fell apart quick. And Mackenzie Gore was completely and utterly useless as the Nationals get blanked, but I lose my under. So the under 8 was a loser there as the Braves put up 12 runs there. So an absolutely annoying game there. Pittsburgh -1, never in doubt. Totally didn't have to sweat the 9th inning there. That if only they were all this easy. Detroit -1 winner. They win 11-0. So a nice little winner there. The run line for the Twinnies was a winner there. And then what a freaking game that was, back and forth. And it made me sweat it out for 12 innings. Under 8.5 was a winner in Houston, Oakland. With that, 12 innings, and I can't believe that still hit. Texas, Arizona, under 8 was a winner. The Diamondbacks put up 6, and the under 8 still wins, which was really weird because I was told when I made the bet yesterday that was a loser before the game even started. So that was kind of cool there. And then I got to wake up to the Cubs. Did they make a little comeback last night? They were down 3-1 and they put up 5 runs in the 8th inning. I didn't even notice that. I just saw they won. And they got the team total over. So plus 140 winner, team total over 3.5 winner. Things you love to see. So overall yesterday, baseball is up 4.90 units, and I'm back in the 30s for profit for baseball this year. I dipped into the 20s for 2 days. So back up in the plus 30 unit range, hoping to get that back up to 40s.
Yeah, I had a good day on the site yesterday. Pirates run line plus 140 was a winner. Tigers plus 120 run line was a winner. The only bad game was the national game where we had the under and the Nationals, and it went over with the Braves. Other than that, Twins run line, winner. The over in the Padre game, winner. Unfortunately, the Padres won, so that wasn't fun for me. Cubbies plus 145 was a winner, and the under in the Lynx game was a winner. So ultimately a 6-2 day on the site, 5-2 in baseball. Quite happy with all of that. Puts us nicely up on the leaderboard for yesterday. And that was the kind of bounce back day that we kind of needed. So let's get into today's slate. We got a game starting at 12:30.
Yep.
So hopefully we get a good day today. Maple Leafs announced that Max Pacioretty will attend training camp on a PTO.
I forgot he even still plays hockey.
What's PTO?
Part-time offer. Basically you get a tryout, and if they want to keep you, they'll sign you to a bigger deal.
Heard. RIP. Yeah, for 9/11. My heart fell to my wiener when the Mets lost with Severino. Okay. Schwarber has 7 home runs in the month of September. He's off to a really good start in November. Yeah.
And he's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's day-to-day. Cubs have been smashing those Dodgers.
Love to see it.
Royals went into Yankee Stadium and shut them out. Love to see it. Love those Motor City Kitties. Never let me down once. Well, I'm not sure if they've never let you down, but the A's. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I had the over in that one. That was one that you know what? I just can't go against Nick anymore. I never win those. So, you know what, Nick? All hell. Yeah, you just win all of our head-to-head. So I refuse to go against you anymore.
We'll see. You'll probably find something to disagree with me today with.
And then you'll end up winning it again. So it won't matter. You want to head to the first game?
Yeah, let's get into it here. We've had some pretty massive line movement in this game since the opening line. There we go. Let's get the baseball up there. And I'm honestly confused about it, which I'm still going to move on it. Okay, it's come back a little bit since the massive move. This line opened up at a 174. When I typed this up, this morning, it was a 170. And it got all the way down to a 146 before it's come back up to a 155. So pretty decent move towards the Marlins, but we've had some buyback after that move. Line opened up at an 8.5 at -110. It's down 9 at -110. So a move towards the over and a move towards the Marlins, suggesting that Bailey Falter could be vulnerable in this game. 94% of tickets and 92% of cash is on the over in this game. So the line movement towards the over does make sense. And then 87% of tickets and 67% of cash on the Pirates. And looking at this pitching matchup here, we have Bailey Falter taking on Jonathan Bermudez. I'm trying to see with Bermudez here. Is he a bullpen guy? Because this is a bullpen game. Yeah, it's a bullpen game for the Marlins against Falter, which I think Falter is better than his numbers suggest. 6.85 ERA, 1.82 WHIP. 7.23 strikeouts per nine, which is 17%, 3.04 walks per nine, a 4.02 BABIP, a 3.69 FIP, and a 4.81 Sierra. The bullpen edge goes towards Miami. Hitting edge slightly goes towards Miami as well. 82 WRC plus, which is 19th, compared to 77, which is 22nd. Honestly, we should be sitting in the series 2-0 on the Marlins. And they should have covered the run line on that first game. They did yesterday, and I think they will today. I'm going to be on the Pirates -1 in this game.
Back on the Pirates. It's the Marlins' fade. We've been doing it all year. It's plus 130 on the run line, so no reason for me not to want to go after it. Can just stick with it. I'm gonna go. Gonna go with the Pirates on the run line.
Yeah, and the Pirates just announced also that they expect Derek Shelton to be the manager in 2025.
Okay.
Just saw that on Twitter.
Good morning. Nice card yesterday. Yes. Yeah. Yesterday was a good day for sure. Fade the Marlin train. Yes. Every time I bet the Pirates, they hit like 4 or 5 runs on my first 3 innings. There you go. That's always nice. I'm on the wrong thing. Let's go to the next game, Nick, which I already have a bet on as well.
Yeah, I'm just locking in these bets. There we go. Pirates -1, -113 to start off my day. Pirates -1, -113. Let's move on to the Chicago White Sox and the Cleveland Guardians in this one here. The Guardians -210 road favorites with a total of 8 in this spot. Now, my first thought on this game is I want the under. Let's get into this line history in this one where we have Matthew Boyd taking on Davis Martin. Line opened up at a 208. It's now a 225. And line opened up at an 8.5 -105. It's now an 8 and even money. So we have a move towards the under, and we have a move towards the Guardians, expecting Matthew Boyd to pitch well. 90% of tickets, 93% of cash is on the Guardians. 81% of tickets, 78% of cash is on the over, yet this line's moving towards the under. Neither of these two teams can scare me too much, but let's get into it. Matthew Boyd has been awesome since coming back from the IL. Low-key, he's slowly creeping into he wants to make my rotation type of player. Like, he's one of the guys that are going to go under the radar and things along those lines. 2.20 ERA, 0.77 WHIP, 8.16 strikeouts per nine, which is 24%, 1.57 walks per nine, a 192 BABIP, a 3.37 FIP, and a 3.79 Sierra. Davis Martin, 3.12 ERA, 1.19 WHIP, 7.96 strikeouts per nine, which is 21%, 2.77 walks per nine, a 270 BABIP, a 4.18 FIP, and a 4.03 Sierra. The bullpen edge goes towards the Guardians. The hitting edge goes towards the Guardians. 94 WRC plus, which is 21st, compared to 37, which is dead last in baseball. Now they have their numbers against lefties have fallen off. So for me, it's an underplay. The only thing that I'm really trying to consider is whether or not it's a first five or a full game underplay, and it's probably going to be a first five underplay. Why? Because when you look at the usage for this White Sox bullpen that is bad to begin with, they're pretty used right now. Iriarte threw 31 yesterday. He's thrown 51 in the past 3 days. De Los Santos has thrown 47 in the last 3 days, including 24 yesterday. Schuster threw 47 yesterday. Anderson's thrown 37 in the last 3 days. Foster threw 22 yesterday. And then you got Baroa, Kuhl, Ellard, and Varland available today because they didn't throw yesterday. And Baroa threw the most in the last 3 days at 21 pitches. I don't trust this White Sox bullpen versus anything, but on the flip side, I want the Guardians bullpen involved in the under, but I don't want the White Sox bullpen involved in the under here. Because probably Sandlin won't be available. He's thrown back-to-back days. Other than that, everybody else should be available because nobody else threw except for Clase threw 14 yesterday and Gaddis threw 8. So for me, I want an under in this game. I don't know how to approach it because I want the Guardians bullpen involved. I don't want the White Sox bullpen involved. So I got to figure it out that neither of these teams' bats really scare me. I've just got to look a little bit deeper to see if it's a first five or a full game under because the White Sox bullpen's bad, but on the flip side, we're talking about one of the best in the baseball for the Guardians.
I'm going to make it quite simple. If I can get a run line that's reasonable against the White Sox, I'm betting it every single day for the rest of the year. This team has given up since the All-Star break. They've won, 5 games? 5 games since the All-Star break. This team is not good, obviously. And I'm going to just continue to fade them every single day. I got the run line at minus 128. If the run line is minus 130 or less, I will bet against the White Sox every single day. So for the rest of the season, because I think they're going to lose probably every single game for the rest of the season. So I'm going to take the Guardians here. I took them on the run line, minus 128. Are you able to read the chat real quick? I got to go run and grab my charger.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. And maybe this will help me figure it out because I may just take the first 5 under 4.5. It's minus 130. I was not expecting to get a 4.5, which kind of does scare me a little bit with it being a 4.5 with the total 7.5 full game, but it is minus 130 for it. Kind of tells me that we see runs early in this game, but then it slows down. I think I just take the full game under. On the full game under at 8 minus 120. I think I just take the full game under for this one. It does make me a little bit nervous with the White Sox, but I think that the Guardians bats are not enough to scare me off. So there you go. Let's see. Cleveland moneyline parlay. There you go. Cash cow. Nope. It's a road team. They're on the road. Guardian smash. No, not a cow. Josh Naylor home run. No, not a cow.
Cows have to be home teams.
Yeah, I think the cat, yes, has to be home team. It's a home team. Yeah. Ramirez home run. Tailing, what's good? Real deal prime. Kwan 2 hits. Ramirez 2 hits. 6-1. There you go. First to score. Parlay piece. Guardians minus 200. 1 to 2 units. Boyd 7 strikeouts. I don't mind that. It's Shamania Day. It is very much Shamania Day, and we're going to talk about Shamania here. Which I end up deciding on the full game under here, because the 4.5 being minus 130 for the first 5, kind of with the full game being an 8, kind of told me a little bit there. So that's going to be a full game under 8 there. I have moved on this next game, and it is a first 5 under. With the New York Mets and the Toronto Blue Jays. It's the only game I've moved on heading into this show here between for this baseball card. We had the New York Mets and the Toronto Blue Jays. Line opened up at a 123. It's down to a 122. A 1-cent line moving here towards Toronto. Line opened up at an 8 at minus 107. It's now an 7.5 at minus 113. So we have a half-run line movement towards the under, which I love to see that. 86% of tickets, 78% of cash is on the over. Line's moving towards the under. And 66% of tickets, 83% of cash on the Mets, and the line's not moving whatsoever there. Sean Manaea and Bowden Francis. Manaea, 3.41 ERA, 0.64 whip, 9.96 strikeouts per nine, which is 30%. 1.31 walks per nine, a 151 BABIP, but 3.94 FIP, and a 2.92 SIERA. On the flip side, Bowden Francis has been awesome. 1.29 ERA, 1.43 whip, 9.77 strikeouts per nine, which is 31%. 0.77 walks per nine, a 108 BABIP, a 292 FIP, and a 2.72 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards the Mets. The hitting edge goes towards the Mets. 109 WRC plus, which is 11th, compared to 88, which is 16th. Now, before I looked into it a little bit deeper, I didn't mind the full game under in this one, but then I capped it a little bit deeper. And when you look at the bullpens, Ryan Yarbrough threw 60 yesterday, not available. Ryan Burr threw 30 yesterday and 48 in the last 3 days, not available. Tommy Nance has thrown back-to-back games, including 27 yesterday, not available. Luis Frias threw 15 yesterday, 35 in the last 3 days, probably not available. Eric Swanson's thrown in back-to-back games, probably not available. Zach Pop has threw 22 pitches on Sunday. He had yesterday off, so he might be available. And then that leaves Chad Green, Brendan Little, and Genesis Cabrera. And you're probably going to ask Bowden Francis to go 6-7 innings in this game. On the flip side with the Mets, kind of similar. They went through 4 arms yesterday. Diaz threw 12. He's thrown 3 of the last 4 games. Danny Young threw 14 yesterday. He had the day off before that, so maybe he's available. Reed Garrett threw 21 on Sunday, but he had yesterday off. He's probably available. Jose Butto threw 17 yesterday. I don't know if he's available. Phil Maton threw 17 on Sunday. He might be available. Stanek threw 17 yesterday. He could probably work back-to-back, which leaves us with Alex Young and Ottavino, who have thrown a combined 7 pitches in the last 5 games each. So it's 2 bullpens that are probably – the Mets bullpen is fresher than the wow, I'm just listing off a bunch of different birds. I said Orioles and Ravens. The Blue Jays bullpen. So for me, I wanted to take these taxed, exhausted bullpens out of the game, and I'm going to take the first 5 under. I got 4.5 at minus 125 this morning.
Well, you know what I do with Sean Manaea today. Match that up with the fact that the New York teams are normally really have a really good record on 9/11, and I although I will say it is. I'm kind of annoyed that this game is not being played in New York.
Yeah.
Because
I
feel
feel
like
America.
Yeah, the 9/11's getting played in Canada, which I think is kind of stupid. But that's how the schedule worked. They can't play there every year. But I am going to be on the Mets today. I am going to be on the Yankees today. I'm going to have them in a parlay. And it's the historic record for all New York teams, because even when the Jets and Giants played on 9/11, they normally tend to win as well. So normally New York teams play very well on this day. So I'm going to take both of them today, and the Mets are one of them. Plus it's Sean Manaea day, who after last night dropped from 2nd to 3rd in the most profitable pitchers because Shota Imagana ended up winning. So, but he is still the number 3 most profitable pitcher in baseball.
All right, I have the numbers for the 2 New York teams on September 11th since 2002, because neither of them played in.
Yeah,
the Mets are 8-12. The Yankees are 14-6. The Yankees are the bet.
The Yankees are the one.
The Yankees are the bet on team on 9/11. The Mets are not.
What is the historic last couple of years? Because I know the Mets have been good the last couple of years.
Let me click the back arrow. The last few years, they.
I think they won last year. Last year was against the Marlins, I think.
They lost last year against the Diamondbacks. They won the year before against the Marlins. They lost the year before that against the Yankees. And they won back-to-back games 2020 and 2019 against the Blue Jays. They played in Toronto in 2020 on 9/11. They won that game, and they beat the Diamondbacks 9-0 in 2019. So, yeah, they've not been good on this day, Tim.
Oh, then I'll back Sean Manaea today.
Fair.
Would have turned $25 into $10.50 if it wasn't for the Nationals' piss poor performance. Correct. Mets, Lindor home run. Mets to score first and the under. Manaea win, yes. Nimmo hit, Vientos hit. I like it. How do you feel about the Spankies? I'm going to be on them today. This 9/11 trend finna be how exactly everyone was on the Mets yesterday.
I wasn't on them.
That was almost English. Manaea 7+ strikeouts. Yankees run line because they got shut out. Yeah, I could see the Yankee run line. I will be on the Yankee run line today. Let's keep on rolling, Nick.
Yep. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the Texas Rangers. Diamondbacks -145, total of 8.5 in this game. Of course, I click on a different tab, so I have to wait for my computer to load again. There we go. Where is this game? Arizona. There we go. Merrill Kelly and Cody Bradford, your pitching matchup here. Line opened up at a 135. It's now a 153 for the Diamondbacks. So another big move towards Arizona. Line opened up at an 8.5, -102. It's now an 8.5, -110. So we do have an 8-cent line movement towards this over here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow. 87% of tickets, 87% of cash is on the over in this game. The lines move towards it. 82% of the tickets and 69% of the cash, nice, is on the Diamondbacks. So the sharp money is coming in on the Rangers, and the books are spitting on it, moving on towards the Diamondbacks. We have Merrill Kelly versus Cody Bradford. Bradford's been decent, but I could see some negative regression from him. 2.53 ERA, 0.81 WHIP, 7.03 strikeouts per nine, which is 30%, 1.69 walks per nine, a 195 BABIP, a 3.49 FIP, and a 4.30 SIERA. On the flip side, Merrill Kelly, 5.72 ERA, 1.48 WHIP, 6.35 strikeouts per nine, which is 16%, 2.57 walks per nine, a 3.11 BABIP, a 5.47 FIP, and a 4.78 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards the Diamondbacks. The hitting edge goes towards the Diamondbacks, 105 WRC plus, which is 5th compared to 93rd, which is 22nd. I had nothing in this game at all. I wanted my first thought was under, and then I looked a little bit deeper, and I don't want that. And the markets are telling me that the Rangers are alive, but the line's moving against them, so that's kind of weird there, and it's just not a game I feel the need to get involved with.
No, I'm out of this one too. I hope that the Rangers can win, but honestly, this is not really a game I felt like I needed to get involved with. Diamondbacks, they got the win yesterday, so they're kind of back a little bit on a winning streak. But I like Merrill Kelly. He's been solid, although has been struggling as of late. But he's been solid this year, and he's been solid me the past couple of years. If the Arizona Diamondbacks can get him pitching well again, that team's going to be very, very dangerous. Cody Bradford has been really good. It would be a lean towards Texas or nothing in this game, but I honestly didn't even want to go after this one.
Yeah.
Over. I can see the over. Do you like the Mystics on the money line today? I will be honest, I haven't even capped the WNBA card yet. I keep forgetting that we go over it during the show. Normally I do it after the show, but Walker home run. I could see a Walker home run. Let's go to this one, Nick.
Yeah. One of the easy winners yesterday. I don't know if I want to go back to it today or not. Let's take a look, though. We have the Detroit Tigers and the Colorado Rockies. Tigers -180 favorites, total of 8.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup where we have Casey Mize versus Tanner Gordon. This line opened up at a 178. It's up to 188. A 10-cent line movement here towards the Detroit Tigers. Line opened up at an 8, -115. Got up to an 8.5. Back down to an 8. 2-cent line movement towards the under in this game here. Let's take a look at the cash flow where we have 90% of the tickets, 99% of the cash is on the Tigers. The lines move 10 cents towards the Tigers. And then 88% of tickets and 88% of the cash is on the over. In this game here, we have Casey Mize and Tanner Gordon. Gordon's been horrible. And I believe it's been a couple blow-up starts for him because I remember He had that really bad start against Arizona where he did not make it out of an inning. And I don't think it's gotten any better for him. He gave up 5 earned runs and 8 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts in his last appearance, and a 6-1 loss against Washington. He went 0.2 innings, gave up 3 earned runs against the Diamondbacks, 4 total runs. Before that, he gave up 2 earned runs against Atlanta. But on the flip side, we have Casey Mize, a 4.76 ERA, 1.15 WHIP, 4.76 strikeouts per nine, which is 13%, 1.539 walks per nine, a 229 BABIP, a 609 FIP, and a 5.49 SIERA. Bullpen edge goes towards the Tigers. Hitting edge goes towards the Tigers, 112 WRC plus, which is 10th, compared to 81, which is 28th. But when we look at this game, I'm going to be on it because we have this line moving 10 cents towards the Tigers. The total is at least 8. The line's above 180. The public's on the Tigers, and this is a cash cow spot. So I'm going to go right back to the Tigers then today. Tiger run line in this one.
I was already on them before I even found out they were cash cow because the Tigers are right there. And I know it sounds crazy. This team has been just winning like crazy lately. And smash spot yesterday, cash cow spot today. I believe they were cash cow yesterday too, right?
I believe we bet him anticipating it, and I think that
I think they did end up getting to a cash cow yesterday.
I was able to get in on the -1 before it got too crazy. Today I can't because it was -138 for the -1.
Yeah, no, I'll take them on the cash cow today. I think it's another really good spot for the Tigers. If the Tigers want to have a shot at making the playoffs, this has got to be a smash spot here. You can't lose at home to.
It's got to be a sweep. And when you look at this Tigers team, they've been playing like one of the better teams in baseball since the last like couple months. Like they're one of the best teams in the American League the last few months. So
correct. By the way, I found one play in the WNBA I liked.
Nice.
Tigers, cash cow. Yep. Good luck today, y'all. Good luck to you. Stops you as well. Let's jump into this one, Nick.
Yeah, Philadelphia Phillies -195 favorites, total of 7 in this game. Let's get into the line history where we have, let me find it. Shane Baz taking on Zach Wheeler in this game. Line open up at a 195. It's a now -220. A big move towards these Philadelphia Phillies. Line open up at a 7 at -115. It's now 7 at -125. We do have a 10-cent line movement towards the over, but it's a 7. So that takes away Philly from being a cash cow. 82% of tickets, 76% of cash on the over. The lines move slightly towards it. 92 and 98 on Philly. We have Shane Baz, 2.10 ERA, a 0.97 whip, 7.01 strikeouts per nine, which is 20%, 3.86 walks per nine, and 159 BABIP, a 4.93 FIP, and a 4.99 SIERA. I think Shane Baz is a part of the rotation next year, which that Rays rotation could be really nice next year. With Rasmussen back fully, Springs back fully, hopefully McClanahan's back. The only problem is Rasmussen will be on innings limit, Springs will be on an innings limit, McClanahan.
I don't think that's gonna be a problem for them though.
No,
because they're a bunch of 5 and flies anyway.
They're gonna run a 6-man rotation with an elite bullpen.
Yeah,
that's what they're gonna do, and they're gonna be just fine next year.
Mm-hmm. That's what they normally do.
I look forward to Rays futures next year personally. Zach Wheeler, 1.74 ERA, 0.77 whip, 9.78 strikeouts per nine, which is 29%, 0.87 walks per nine, a 244 BABIP, a 2.21 FIP, and a 2.91 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards the Phillies. The hitting edge goes towards the Phillies. And for me, it's a stay off spot. I mean, there's a really big number on the Phillies that I don't feel like laying. And it's too low of a total for me to really want to mess with. I kind of lean over, but not going to bet that either. Simple pass for me here.
Yeah, I didn't feel the need to get involved with it either. Phillies smashed yesterday. Phillies are going for the sweep. Yeah, because they have off tomorrow, and then they're going for the sweep, and they probably will get it. And keep in mind, the Phillies this weekend play the Mets.
Oh boy!
So it might be a little bit of a look ahead spot because it's a divisional matchup. But I'm not going to bet this game, but I could see this one being a game where the Phillies are a little bit vulnerable. Is it something I really want to go after? No. So This one's going to be a stay away spot for me, Nick.
Fair.
Fighting Phil's first to score. I can see it. Phillies run line. Yeah, probably. Ross Mushis. Almost. Cash cow? No. Total's too low. Castellanos home run on 9/11. Why not?
Oh, how did we miss that, Cap? I got to throw a couple bucks on it, right?
Yep, we got to throw a couple dollars on that. Yep, definitely going to do that. Castellanos home run on 9/11. Phillies run line and Rays upset. I can see the Rays upset. How about this one, Nick?
By the way, you guys are fucked that that's the first thing you guys think of on 9/11 is I got to bet the Castellanos home run prop. All right, let's move on. We have the Atlanta Braves. They take on the Washington Nationals here. Braves minus 165 favorites with a total of 7.5 in this game. Yeah, the Mets get the Phillies this weekend. You know who the Braves get?
Who?
The Dodgers.
I saw that.
So it's not like, oh, the Mets have a really tough opponent. The Braves have the Dodgers for not 3, but 4. Now, granted, I'm going to be on the Braves all 4 games, but that's beyond the point. It is what it is. But which, by the way, I was listening to a podcast this morning with the Braves. Do you think the Pittsburgh Pirates have a good offense?
No.
They have a better WRC plus than the Braves.
Makes sense.
Do you think the Tigers have a good offense?
Yes.
They have a better WRC plus than the Atlanta Braves. But let's get into it here. That's why they've been such a good under team, and we'll get into it. This line opened up at a 163. It's now a 172 for Atlanta, so we have a 9-cent line movement towards the Bravos here. Line opened up at 7.5, minus 117. It's up to an 8 now. So that's kind of surprising there. That's probably enough to keep me off of a Brave under because I've been betting these Brave unders, and I finally got burned on one yesterday. But this has been such a good team. And you know the reason why they've been such a good under team? We saw it yesterday as well. Granted, Ronaldo Lopez got hurt.
Bullpen.
Their pitching is so damn good. Their starting rotation has not given up more than 3 earned runs in like 29 consecutive games.
Yeah, no, they've been really good.
It's been unreal.
Yeah.
They are the National League Mariners. They're the National League Mariners. They have one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. Except for the
Braves will make the playoffs.
The Braves will make the playoffs. The Mariners will not. 84% of tickets, 80% of cash on the Braves lines moving towards them. Max Fried and Jake Irving. Fried, 2.59 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, 8.04 strikeouts per 9, which is 22%. 2.59 walks per 9, a 2.47 BABIP, a 3.18 FIP, and a 3.68 SIERA. On the flip side, Jake Irving, 7 ERA, 1.67 WHIP, 7 strikeouts per 9, which is 19%, 3.33 walks per 9, a 3.45 BABIP, a 5.73 FIP, and a 4.62 SIERA. Bullpen edge goes towards the Braves. Hitting edge goes towards the Nationals. 97 WRC plus, which is 9th against lefties. The league in general are not hitting lefties right now when I think only the top 8 teams are above average against lefties over the last 30 days. Mm-hmm. Which just tells you more unders are hitting because not as many teams. The Braves against righties are 27th in baseball with an 84 WRC plus. They're not hitting right now. I would only look Braves in this game, personally. I think the Braves are finally starting to turn things around and starting to make a push towards the playoffs. I think they will make the playoffs pretty easily with the schedule they have the rest of the season. So I can only look Braves in this game, but I'm not going to bet it, but I can only look towards Atlanta.
I don't blame you. I mean, it's a little bit intriguing to want to go after the Nationals again today.
Is it really, though?
I'm
not as much of a fan on Jake Irving right now because I think he's a prime regression candidate and he has regressed.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, he's gotten blown up his last 2 starts. I wanted to look towards some scrappy teams towards the end of the year that are going to be dogs, that are going to make us money, that are actually going to care. And for the National League side, it's the Nationals. For the American League side, it's Oakland. I want to look towards teams that I feel like can make us money. And I feel like those are 2 teams that they fit my criteria of, yes, they're not in the playoff picture. They're pretty much eliminated. But at the same time, these are teams that have young prospects coming up. And actually, those players are going to actually care.
True.
So I look at teams like that and be like, okay, the Nationals could be sneaky for us to make us a little bit of money throughout the rest of the year. And I kind of want to go after the Nationals again. Am I going to? No. But it's definitely a lean towards them in this game for me.
Fair.
I do sense a bit of danger stay off as well. The Washington Wahoos. Braves first to score. Nationals plus 157, I think has good value. Kansas State parlay. We should start capping the college football card tonight once the show's over.
Okay.
Under 7.5. Nats are 7-5 versus the Braves this season.
Wow, I did not know that.
That's kind of interesting to see.
They play the Braves really well, like the Marlins play the Phillies really well.
There you go. You guys are pulling the reverse jinx, saying the Braves are going to make the playoffs. Statistically, by the numbers, they should. They've got a lot easier of a schedule than the Mets. And at this point, I don't really see Arizona or San Diego dropping out fully. Because
after the Dodgers, they have the Reds, who they should take care of. They have the Marlins, who they should take care of. Then they have the 3-game series against the Mets. And then they have the Royals, which probably those games, I don't know if they'll matter, the Royals games, because the Royals probably will have their playoff spot locked up. They might be competing for the division.
I think the Royals play out the entire season. So
but yeah. So I don't know. And the Mets have the Phillies 7 times, the Braves 3 times. Like the Mets have one of the more tougher schedules to end the year.
Oh, for sure, they have one of the toughest schedules out of the playoff teams right now.
After this one game against the Blue Jays, they only play 3 more games this season against teams that won't be playing in October.
And that's the Nationals.
And that's the Nationals for 3, which are no cakewalk right now.
They're not.
They're scrappy. They go to Philly for 3. They play Washington 3 times. They play Philly 4 times. They play Atlanta 3 times. And they play 3 games in Milwaukee, which hopefully
Milwaukee's already clinched a playoff spot and it doesn't matter. Yes.
The only thing I'm worried about with Milwaukee in that spot is they're competing for a bye.
I think at that point they'll know whether or not they either have the bye or B are or close enough or too far out. They should know by the final weekend, and I think at that point, I think at that point they should be clinched. I will say the Brewers will have the division clinched easily, and they will not be competing for the bye.
You think they will have their 3 seats locked up and honestly, throw your junk pitchers in that last series because you might be playing the Mets for another 3 games in Milwaukee after that.
It could very
well could see 5 or 6 games in Milwaukee for the Mets to end the year.
Yeah, which is not ideal, but could definitely happen.
All right, I have it up on FanGraphs right now. What do you think is the Braves % chance to make the playoffs, and what do you think is the Mets % chance to make the playoffs?
Braves 75 to 80%.
They're 68.4%, and the Mets are 45.4%. The Cubs still have a 2.1%. Diamondbacks are 88.9%, and the Padres are 95.2%.
Padres are not going down.
Padres
are going to be in the play. Last night completely, I think last night kind of locked in Padres and Diamondbacks to at least one of them making the playoffs.
Oh, I think absolutely one.
Oh, duh.
At least one of them are making the playoffs. Yeah, of course they are.
Meaning one of them is going to pretty much guarantee the 1 seed, I should say. A wild card 1.
Fair.
What Timmy does say about the Natty's talent is right. The Nationals are definitely going to be one of those teams that are going to be scrappy throughout the rest of the year. I would play the entire season. I remember NHL playoffs, never leave it to chance. There you go. That Braves-Mets series will decide, in my opinion. And it's always in frickin' Atlanta. So,
of course it's in Atlanta.
Braves 30.
But this
30%?
This could be a chance for the Mets to flip the script on 2022 when they blew the 10-game lead against Atlanta. Atlanta blew a 10-game lead against us. And it came down to a series in Atlanta in the second to last series of the year.
Yeah, it very well could, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
No.
Let's go to this game, Nick, which I'm already on.
Let's get into it. The New York Yankees are taking on the Kansas City Royals. The Yankees are minus 140 favorites, total of 8 in this game. One of my boys are pitching on here. It's Cole Reagans. But it's Luis Gil. Luis Gil on the opposite side. Line opened up 135. It's at 142 now, so we do have a move towards the Yankees. Line opened up at an 8.5, minus 102. It's now an 8 at minus 110. So a move towards the under and a move towards the Yankees, expecting Luis Gil to pitch well. 81 and 81 is on the over in this game. 81 and 82 is on the Yankees in this game. The lines move towards the Yankees. The lines move towards the under. This makes the under kind of appealing in this spot. Let's get into the pitching matchup where we have Cole Reagans taking on Luis Gil. Reagans a 3.67 ERA, 1.07 whip, 12.67 strikeouts per 9, which is 34%, 3.33 walks per 9, a 288 BABIP, but 2.77 FIP, and a 3.11 SIERA. On the flip side, Luis Gil, 4.85 ERA, 1.62 whip, 9 strikeouts per 9, which is 22%, 6.92 walks per 9, a 257 BABIP, a 5.49 FIP, and a 5.49 SIERA. So maybe a little bit of negative regression coming here from Luis Gil. The question is, are the Royals a team that can take advantage of that? The bullpen edge, it goes towards the Royals. The hitting edge goes towards the Yankees, 104 WRC plus, which is 7th, compared to 92, which is 23rd. Now, the Royals are not hitting particularly well at the moment, which my cap heading into this is I want the under. I think Cole Reagans can pitch well, and I think Luis Gil is the question mark. The market's kind of confirmed to me that he's not a question mark, that he's going to pitch well with 81 and 81 on the over, but yet the line's dropping. Tells me that the under is probably the play in this game. Now, I want to look at the way these bullpens are set up, because if the bullpens are fresh, I'll take a full game under here in this game, and that's the way I would want to look at this one. As for a side, it's probably Yankees or nothing, but I don't like going against my boy Cole Reagans like that. Daniel Lynch threw 33 on Saturday. He might be available. Chris Stratton threw 29 yesterday. I don't know. Lucas Ursig threw on Saturday and Sunday. He had yesterday off. He might be available. Sam Long threw 22. I wouldn't count on him. MacArthur only threw 18. Hernandez threw 14. Bubik hasn't pitched. He pitched 9 on Sunday. Did not pitch yesterday. And Scherzer had not thrown yesterday either. Both those will be available. The Yankee bullpen, I don't have too many arms in this Yankee bullpen on RotoWire that they've used in the last 5 games. Jake Cousins has thrown back-to-back games. He probably won't be available. Luke Weaver threw 23 yesterday. That's kind of iffy. Clay Holmes did not pitch. Ian Hamilton threw 15 yesterday. Tommy Kahnle threw 14 on Friday. So should be a pretty fresh bullpen for the Yankees. And the Royals pretty fresh as well. I'll take a full game under here in this spot.
I already mentioned where I was going with this game during the Mets game. And it's part of the 9/11 games. This is a play that I have marked on my calendar preseason, where I know every 9/11 I bet the Mets and I bet the Yankees and I parlay the two of them. So here's what I did. I have the Mets money line. I think it was around -125. I took the Yankee run line +140, and then I have a Mets money line, Yankees money lines parlay at +204. That's where I went for today's games for both New York teams. So, and this one's actually, I will say I'm more confident in the Yankees today than I am in the Mets because they're playing in New York for that. So, I'm going with that, and then I will probably bet some player props today. Castellanos will probably be in there. Lindor will probably be in there, and probably Judge will probably be in there somewhere. So I will have some player props as well, but I will be on the Yankees.
Full game under 8 for me at -110 over on Fanatics.
Royals, no. Good morning, gentlemen. Kansas City upset, nah. Cubs never in doubt, yup. Too many people on the under. I forgot the Royals aren't good on the road.
Wait. What was that last one?
Too many people on the under.
81% of tickets, 81% of cash is on the over. Try again.
There you go. Let's head to this game, which I already have bet as well, Nick. But it's kind of obvious.
Yeah, we had the Boston Red Sox favored once again against the Baltimore Orioles.
There you go.
Woo! All right. I've got to stop writing and talking at the same time. -125 for Boston, total of 9.5 in this game. Let's get into the line history on this spot between Slick Nick Pivetta taking on Dean Kramer. Line opened up with Boston as -120 favorites. It's up to a 135. Line opened up at a 9.5 -105. It's now 9.5 at +105. So a move towards the under and a move towards the Red Sox, suggesting Nick Pivetta pitch as well. 73% of tickets, 84% of cash is on the over when the lines move towards the under. And then we have 68% of the tickets and 99% of the cash is on the Red Sox. With the line moving towards said Red Sox, we have Kramer, 2.96 ERA, 1.21 whip, 8.23 strikeouts per nine, which is 22%, 3.62 walks per nine, a 289 BABIP, but 2.67 FIP, and a 4.36 ERA. On the flip side, Pivetta, 4.5 ERA, 1.34 whip, 8.18 strikeouts per nine, which is 22%, 3.27 walks per nine, a 288 BABIP, a 4.95 FIP, and a 4.55 SIERA. Bullpen edge goes towards the Orioles. Hitting edge goes towards the Red Sox, 101 WRC plus, which is 14th, compared to 97, which is 17th. And for me, the way the market's moving is telling me the Red Sox probably take care of business in this game. However, I do not want to mess with the Red Sox bullpen in this game. So I'd lean Red Sox first five. Unfortunately, that is minus 150, and I don't lay first five run lines as much. And I can see a first five run line in this game because I can see this game being a little bit more higher variance, even though the line's moved towards the under, but it's a 9.5 total. The line has not moved for the first five total. So I'd probably lean first five under or maybe a first five run line for the Red Sox. I think Pivetta pitches well in this game. So maybe Pivetta over strikeouts, Pivetta over outs or something along those lines. But especially if they want to keep the bullpen actors out of this game as much as possible. So for me, be a lean towards the Red Sox, lean towards an under, but a no play.
I'm already on the Orioles. I updated this stuff yesterday. I didn't update it after last night's game where they won and covered. So the numbers are going to be a little bit better now. But back on the Orioles. Going to keep rolling with them every single day. We've only got about, 17 games left. So no quitting now. Let's keep on rolling with the Orioles. Small remembrance. 9-11 parlay. Mets, Yankees, yes. Washington, sure. Pittsburgh, Philly. I mean, they're playing crash in the fields. I'm not really sure.
So
I'm not.
That one's kind of vague.
I feel like that one's kind of a little bit of a stretch.
For Washington, I can understand.
But I can understand Washington with the Pentagon. And the game's being played in Washington. So, yes, in Washington. So I could see that one, but I would probably not. I mean, obviously, I like Pittsburgh today, but
I think and Philly is a big enough favorite where I think that's a safe piece. So I mean, you throwing in two more favorites in there. I'm not gonna talk you off of it.
Yeah. Yankees supposed to be a cash cow. They're not big enough favorites.
Not big enough favorites.
Baltimore money line. Yes. Why is Tigers minus 1.5 a cash cow even though the Rockies lost 11-0?
Has nothing to do with
it. Has nothing to do with it. Yeah. Nothing to do with it.
They were at least a minus 180 favorite. The total's at least 8. It's a home team with the line moving at least 10 cents towards them and the public on them. That's all it is.
There you go. Cream rises to the top. Orioles money line run line. Let's get it. Over 9.5. I could see that. Some of the show, if seen today, people like under. That's all I'm saying. Not saying you're wrong.
Okay.
Fair enough. Let's go to this game, which was a cash cow yesterday. So
yeah, it was. That was a big win for the Twins yesterday.
Yes.
Line opened up at a 188 to up to a 196. So we have an 8-cent line movement towards these Minnesota Twins. Line opened up at an 8.5 at minus 110. It's now an 8.5 at minus 125. Fun pitching matchup here for people who like young rookie pitchers with potential decent prospect grading. We have Zebby Matthews versus Jack Kohanowitz in this matchup here. I really like this matchup a lot. I don't know why. Kohanowitz, a 2.84 ERA, 1.20 whip, 1.99 strikeouts per nine, which is 5%. He doesn't strike out anybody, Kohanowitz. This is kind of interesting there. 1.42 walks per nine. He doesn't walk anyone either. 2.73, 273 BABIP, but 4.73 FIP, and a 4.95 SIERA. Zebby Matthews, a 7.36 ERA, and a 1.59 whip. Most of that was just a blow-up start against and his second to last start there, where he didn't make it out of an inning against the Blue Jays. 9 strikeouts per nine, which is 21%. One thing even though he gave up all those runs that one time, that one game, he didn't walk anybody. And then that's one thing that Zebby Matthews will give you is no walks. He's not a guy who's walked. He has pitched, 22 innings in the major league so far. He's walked 3 batters. So, and we saw that in the minor leagues as well. He had one of the best walk percentages in all of minor league baseball. Which is really impressive. I want pitchers that go out there and throw strikes, but I don't want every single pitch to be a strike. I mean, when you're looking at his problem was he got ambushed by the Blue Jays because they know they're going to only throw strikes. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you need, and this is something that will come in time with Zebby Matthews, where he's going to settle in and be a 3-4 starter for the Twins. Is got to nibble the outside a little bit. Like you got to be able to throw balls. You got to be able to throw balls correctly though. So that's one thing you keep an eye out for Zebby Matthews, which is honestly keeping me off the game, even though this is under or nothing. I love this pitching matchup, and maybe I just back the under in this game. The bullpen edge goes towards the Twins. The hitting edge goes towards the Twins. 97 WRC plus, which is 19th, compared to 73, which is dead last. The line moving towards the over, though, which I did not want to see for someone who wants to back an under in this game. 93 and 96 on the over, 88 and 89 on the Twins. I want to back an under here with Matthews and Kohanowitz, but it's not a game I'm going to get involved with.
I didn't feel the need to get to it either. I'm not really big on going after teams that are, well, I mean, the Twins are still in it, but Angels are kind of out of it. I bet it yesterday because it was a cash cow spot. I guess I'm not as high on Zebby Matthews as you are. But it would be, I don't really think I can go after anything in this game. So no, this one's a pass for me, Nick.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Zebby Matthews. I want to see what he can do though. And for the Angels, the only games I want to watch is with, I think it's Allegary. I want to see Caden Dana, and I want to see Jack Kohanowitz. I don't need to see Griffin Canning in my life anymore. Reed Detmers is interesting too. That Angels team, if only they, yeah. But yeah, I think they have some intrigue with their rotation.
That's fair. Let's head back to the chat. Angels money line today.
I could see it.
Twins run line. Twins team total over. The over. Larence home run. Santana home run. Going after some player props. I'm not going to talk you off of player props.
I have a feeling people are going to see the higher ERAs with these pitchers and automatically want an over, which we'll see. We'll move on, though. The Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals. I actually saw a post with yesterday. It was Rhett Lauder for the Reds.
Yeah.
He's projected to pitch, I believe, on either the 21st or the 22nd of September.
Mm-hmm.
Rhett Lauder against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Paul Skeens. That's going to be a great matchup. I'm going to take that over.
Lauder and Skeens, part 2. Because those two guys went up against each other.
In the College World Series.
So I saw that. I'm like, that's awesome. Sign me up. I want to watch every pitch of that game.
Yes, for sure.
I love Rhett Lauder.
Because I remember watching that Wake Forest and LSU game. That was.
I think I had a piece of LSU in that game too. Maybe that's why I was so excited about it. But we'll get into this one though, because we don't have Rhett Lauder pitching today. It is Brandon Williamson on the mound taking on good old Big Tits Lynn. Line opened up 135 to now 136 for the Cardinals. Line opened up at an 8.5 plus 105 to now an 8.5 at even money. Now, for whatever reason, I like Lance Lynn. I don't know why. I think he's a funny character, I guess. I think that someone that big throwing a baseball is funny. Who knows? But we have 36% of the tickets and 54% of the cash is on the Reds. So the sharp money on the Reds line's not really moving. We have 63% of tickets and 68% of cash on the over. And the lines move slightly towards the under. We don't have any numbers on Lance Lynn, who hasn't pitched in a while. Brandon Williamson, 2.25 ERA, 0.63 whip, 6.75 strikeouts per nine, which is 19%. 1.13 walks per nine, a 143 BABIP, a 4.43 FIP, and a 3.78 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards the Reds. The hitting edge goes towards the Reds. 100 WRC plus, which is 16th, compared to 80, which is 20th. I don't know what to expect from Lance Lynn. He's a professional, though. He's bulldog. I think he can come out here and pitch well.
He also hasn't pitched in months.
And he's probably on a pitch limit. So I don't know what to expect from him, which is ultimately going to keep me off the game. I would lean Reds and I would lean under because I think Lance Lynn can pitch well, and I like Brandon Williamson a little bit. I think this Reds team, I've mentioned this a few times, has so much appeal, and I look forward to seeing the futures get posted out for next year and what's their win total.
I'll be interested in the Reds and Marlins next year for sure.
Reds over their win total. Reds to win the division. And I think the Reds are this year's the Padres of this year.
I can see that.
Next year. Where they just lost a bunch of games late. Their bullpen was good for whatever reason. Just a lot of guys took a step back, which I didn't expect, and they were bit with the injury bug. I mean, but when you look at what the Reds have going into next year, Nick Lodolo, Hunter Green, I mean, if Brandon Williamson could be healthy, Rhett Lauder, I really like what they have cooking in Cincinnati. Nothing I'm getting involved with in this game, but definitely a team I'm looking at for futures next year.
I got burnt with St. Louis. I think I'm done with that team. I've taken their run line like two times out of the last 4 days or something like that, and they get blown out. Well, not blown out, but they got shut out both games. Not really too interested in going after this game. I want to see what's going on with Lance Lynn, how he looks. I'm surprised he's actually gonna pitch this year. I'm surprised they didn't just shut him down, and because it's 3 weeks left in the year and they're pretty much out of it. So
I mean, what do you got to lose? Get him back in the I don't know.
Risk.
It's Lance Lynn. Who
It's
cares?
Lance Lynn, sure.
At 37 years old, is he really going to be pitching that much?
No.
We forgot he was a first round pick, 39th overall in 2008. Lance Lynn.
That's when the first round was a lot bigger, and that's when there was
compensation picks and stuff like that.
There was 30 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of a sudden you'd see 26th round, 957th pick. What the hell are we still doing here? But yeah. Matthews under 1.5 walks is minus 240. He doesn't walk people. And that's just pretty simple. That he's not going to walk anybody. That could be an interesting parlay piece.
Yes. I would take that with maybe his over outs if you're interested in that.
Under 7 in which game?
Under 7 in what?
San Diego and then Milwaukee are the two games. Reds under 8.5. I can see that. Never mind. Pass on this game. I'm gonna run it back with the Nerfy. I think Luke Baker is on steroids. He's huge.
That guy is a tank. Yeah.
At WNBA today, yes, we're gonna be going over the games. Fever, under, and Mystics and Spark. I took one play. I took the Aces, and that's it. Both spreads, LA and Indiana. I am not on Indiana today. Let's go to this game, Nick.
Yeah, the Houston Astros and the Oakland Athletics. The Astros minus 220 favorites, total of 8 in this game. Let's take a look at this line history, which it opened up at a 178, but there was a pitching change. I don't know who was originally supposed to pitch. It's Joey Estes now, which I see this line went from 190 to 210. So I'm assuming that's when the pitching change was made. And this line opened up an 8.5 minus 120 down to an 8. So we have a move towards the under, and the line opened up after the pitching change at 210. It's now a 230 for the Astros. So we have a pretty decent market move towards the Astros here as well. 91% of tickets, 94% of cash is on the Astros. The line's moving towards them. Total is at least 8. They're at home.
Cash cow.
Put the numbers together there. 81 and 81 is on the over in this game here as well. I think this could be cash cow and play it under as well in this game. But let's get into it. Joey Estes. Maybe Joey Estes is going to help me pump the brakes on it. He's been decent. 3.77 ERA, a .91 WHIP, 7.22 strikeouts per nine, which is 20%. 0.63 walks per nine, a 210 BABIP, but a 5.17 FIP and a 4.68 SIERA, suggesting we should see some negative regression from him. Hunter Brown's been awesome. And if they didn't have a guy named Framer Valdez on this rotation, he's getting the ball game 1. I think it's pretty simple. Valdez is game 1. Brown's game 2. And Kikuchi's game 3. Kikuchi's game 3.
Okay.
Which then probably leaves you with Ronel Blanco game 4, and you throw Arrighetti and Verlander in the bullpen. I think that's the way you address this situation.
You can't have
Verlander starting a playoff game. I get it. It's Verlander.
You can't have him starting a playoff game. No.
But why not? Okay.
He might be a lot more effective in the bullpen anyway.
Yeah. Give me all your effort for 3 innings, Verlander.
If that.
And he could be someone where you have Verlander waiting in the wings if Valdez gets lit up early. Or Hunter Brown has a bad couple innings. and you need a little length. There's Verlander right there, which is a Hall of Famer, a surefire Hall of Famer. So they have a great situation there in Houston. That's why they're built for the playoffs. And I can't believe that in the beginning of the season when they were struggling, we were wondering, what the hell is Houston going to do? They have no starting pitching.
They have a surplus of starting pitching.
Now they have too much. So the bullpen edge goes towards Houston as well. Their bullpen's been awesome. The hitting edge goes towards Houston, 114 WRC plus, which is 6th compared to 113th, which is 7th. It's Astros run line for me. It's the way it's going to be. And I lean under the total. Maybe this is Houston run line and Oakland team total under. I think Brown shoves, and I think the bullpen could pitch well as well. So for me, I want to take a look at. I haven't played a team total under in I don't know how long, because I haven't bet any since I've started betting full game unders. It's a 2.5 at plus 110 for the under 2 for their team total. I don't like that at all. I wanted a 3.5. So, but I expect this game to be 6-2 Astros.
Maybe. I think you're threading the needle a little bit too much. Because, well, I mean, you just said the team total under for Oakland, not the under full game.
Yes.
I remember you said under full game first. I'm like, that's a little bit too much threading the needle for me.
Yeah, I don't like playing run lines and unders, personally.
Correct. I wouldn't either, because the whole point of the run line is I want to see the Astros win 12-0. Like, if I'm laying a run line like that, I want to see a 10-2 game. I don't want it to be anywhere close. And you said cash cow, so I'm jumping on it with you. So there's no once you say cash cow, that's all the consideration that goes into the game. We're going to continue to bet them because they have been cashing like crazy for us. So I'm going to keep on betting them cash cows.
Yep, Astros run line minus 115 for me.
Let's do it. Astros cash cow. Yep, over. See, if I'm betting a cash cow, I'm expecting an over.
I'm not as much because
I'm expecting an 8-2 game.
See, I'm expecting the dog to get shut down. Like, I'm expecting a max of 2 runs from the dog.
Not always, because I could easily see games being a cash cow winning 9-7. Astros come back and lose in extras. Yeah, over Astros, Tigers, Cleveland moneyline parlay. I like it. Those are all the Oh no, Cleveland's not a cash cow because they're a road team. Diaz 2 hits, Altuve 2 hits. Not going to argue with your hit parlays. Jordan is plus 150 for a home run. Ugh. Last time Brown faced the A's, it was 8-1. I could see something like that again, easily. Let's go after this game, Nick.
Yeah. Fun game last night for this one. At least but let's get into it here. We have the San Diego Padres and the Seattle Mariners. It's a pick 'em. Total of 7 in this game. Kind of a weird matchup. I don't know why it feels like a weird matchup, but line opened up with a 118. It's now a 104 for Seattle. So we do have a decent move towards the Mariners. Line opened up a 7 and minus. Oh my bad. Move towards the Padres. I read that wrong. Move towards the Padres. Pretty decent one too. Line opened up minus 110 for 7. It's now plus 105. So we'll move towards the under here as well. I mean, I can see an under. It is Brian Woo taking on Michael King. We have 51% of tickets, 65% of cash on the Padres. So sharp money coming in on the Padres. The line's moving towards them. 88 and 85 is on the over, and the line dropping a little bit there. Tells me that Michael King bounces back and pitches well because he, I think, struggled in his last start. If I remember right. I think against the Giants, he gave up 1 earned run. But I think he struggled. They lost 4-1 to the Cardinals, and he gave up 3 earned runs against 1 earned run against the Mets. He's been solid. He hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs since at least July 4th. That's in his last 10 games. He's given up 3 or fewer earned runs in all of them. 1.98 ERA, 1.39 WHIP, 11.2 strikeouts per 9, which is 28%. 3.62 walks per 90, 252 BABIP, a 352 BABIP, a 307 FIP, and a 3.55 Sierra. Brian Woo, 2.56 ERA, 0.79 WHIP, 11.67 strikeouts per 9, which is 22%. 0.57 walks per nine, a 200 BABIP, a 4.22 FIP, and a 3.61 Sierra. Bullpen edge goes towards the Padres. Hitting edge goes towards the Padres. 119 WRC plus, which is fifth, compared to 112, which is eighth. I would like to move on the Padres in this game. I see the Padres with the line moving towards them, the sharp money on them, with the hitting advantage, the pitching advantage, the bullpen edge, the starting pitching edge, the hitting edge. I see everything in the Padres' favor, other than they're playing in Seattle. Which Seattle, I think their problem is with hitting is hitting at home. It's because I've read a few reports. The batter's eye is I've heard reports that it's crooked there, and it's really difficult to pick up spin off the batter's eye.
That would have a big impact, yes.
Which is why it's Coors Field for pitchers. And
Yep.
This is why we see all these Seattle pitchers pitch so well, and why we think Seattle has the best rotation in baseball. They pitch in the best ballpark in baseball for pitchers.
For sure.
So now, granted, are Brian Wu and Logan Gilbert and Bryce Miller, are they good pitchers? Absolutely.
Absolutely. They would be good anywhere.
Are they being helped by pitching in the best pitching?
Probably a little bit. But
Absolutely. That's why Teoscar Hernandez didn't want to play there anymore. He didn't like hitting in Seattle.
I don't blame him.
So, it's tough to recruit. It's like trying to get pitching to come to Cincinnati and Coors. Nobody wants to go there because you struggle there. Nobody wants to hit in Seattle because you struggle there. So I can understand why they've had offensive problems, is because no good hitters want to play in Seattle.
I don't blame it. I'm sorry. I'm staying off this game.
I'm playing the Padres money line. I'm playing the Padres money line to pick them.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I cannot get the Padres right. I know you love them. I cannot stand that team. I cannot get them right.
Also, I heard an interesting stat with the.
So I'll take the Padres today.
Yeah, I saw an interesting stat with the Mariners. One last thing I wanted to put out there before we move on.
Yeah.
I think if I was the manager of the Mariners, I would put a piece of paper with the number 5 on it, on every single locker in that locker room. You know what their record is when the Mariners have scored at least 5 runs this year?
Undefeated.
They're 48-4.
Yeah, I'm about to say they're really good when they score.
Yeah,
because they have the pitching to do it. Padres smash. I could see that. At the same time, I'm not touching this game. Way too early college football. It's not too early. UNLV spread. And the under. That's what I like, the under in that game. I am on the under in that game. I will say that. Wisconsin under. I will be on Wisconsin. And Purdue, I'm not going to be on Purdue. Mariners. Padres, first 5, team total under. Minus 110. Under in the Charger-Carolina games.
I think so. That line's
careful
already,
with Carolina.
That line's already dropped a decent amount. Also, they just lost one of their best defensive players, Derek Brown.
Who? Carolina? Yeah. I mean, Carolina had no defense to begin with.
Yeah, but he was he's their all-pro defensive tackle. So
fair. What a pitching matchup. Forgot to say our boy Castillo.
I think Castillo is the weak link of this rotation.
Yeah. I can't get the Orioles right. Tim, don't bet the Padres so we can. I will bet the Padres today. No, I'm not going to bet the Padres today. But I'm not touching the opposite side. Lean under. I would kind of want to lean the over, but that's just me. Because I like garbage. So, we got 2 more baseball games, Nick.
Yeah, we had the Milwaukee Brewers and the San Francisco Giants. The Giants are 135 favorites in this game, total of 7 in the spot, which can mean only one thing. Yep, it is Blake Snell.
Yes.
Line opened up at a 150. It's down to a 132, though, so we'd be able to move towards Colin Ray and the Milwaukee Brewers here. Line opened up at 7 at minus 115. It's now a 7 at minus 120. 5-cent line movement towards the over, and a decent move towards the Brewers here in the spot with 71% of the tickets and 53% of cash on the Giants. And the line's moving towards the Brewers. Makes Colin Ray and this Brewers team really appealing in this game. 71% of tickets and 74% of cash on the over in this game as well. Tells me that Blake Snell's going to struggle in this game a little bit. Maybe not crazy because the total's a 7, but the line's moved towards the over. The lines move towards Milwaukee. Maybe that tells me more Colin Ray pitch as well. 5.2 ERA, 1.16 WHIP, 7.48 strikeouts per nine, which is 19%, 0.65 walks per nine, a 268 BABIP, a 5.93 FIP, and a 407 SIERA. Blake Snell has been good. 1.85 ERA, 1.15 WHIP, 13.32 strikeouts per nine, which is 36%. 5.18 walks per nine, a 280 BABIP, a 1.95 FIP, and a 3.52 SIERA. Bullpen edge goes towards Milwaukee. Hitting edge goes towards Milwaukee. 97 WRC plus, which is 10th, compared to 87, which is 26th. I can only look towards the Brewers in this game. I'm really interested in Milwaukee. It's just a lean for me at the moment, but I can only look Milwaukee here.
I don't blame you. I want to look towards Milwaukee as well. And this is a spot where I'm going to be on Milwaukee. I think that you can easily fade Snell. Maybe not easily. I think I don't think that's the right word for it, but I can find good reasons to fade Snell because that's when the Giants are going to be the most overvalued. And the fact that I'm getting plus money in this one is nice enough. I'm going to be on Milwaukee. I got them at plus 124. So sign me up for a little bit of Milwaukee Brewers action today.
I'm going to join you on Milwaukee at plus 120 here. So I'm gonna end my night with a couple dogs because you guys know I'm gonna be on the dog in the final game here. But I'm gonna end my night with a couple dogs. Milwaukee money line is going to be on my card.
Right on. I got plus 125 on the site.
I'm getting plus 120 over on ESPN Bet. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on that there. Nice little doggy action here.
Under. Brewers. I kind of like the over in this game. I will say I kind of like the over in the Giants game. I feel like that's the too easy under, but that's just, I don't know. I like the over 7. I agree, Tarek. I think people like the under. Okay. Brewers bats come to play today. I hope so. Final game, Nick. I will say I was with you the first 2 games of the series. I'm probably going to stay off it today.
Which is fine. But we have those Cubbies trying to break out the brooms on LA here. Dodgers minus 160 favorites with a total of 9 in this game. Now, I doubled down on the Cubs in the first 2 games. I had the Cubs in the over game 1. I had the Cubs in the team total over game 2. Which I'm 4-0 in this series. I think I'm only going to play just the money line in this game personally. Let's get into it, though. Bobby Miller's not look great, though. That's one thing I will say. Line opened up at a 173 down to a 156, so we do have a nice move towards the Cubbies. Line opened up at a 9 at minus 102. It's now a 9 at minus 104, which tells me that maybe the Cubbies can hit again here. Their bats have been pretty good as of late. 85% of tickets, 88% of cash on the over, 84 and 84 on the Dodgers, and the line moving towards the Cubbies. It's Jordan Wicks and Bobby Miller. Jordan Wicks does make me a little nervous. 3.60 ERA, 1.30 WHIP. 3.6 strikeouts per nine, which is 10%. 3.6 walks per nine. A 281 BABIP, a 3.58 FIP, and a 5.72 SIERA. On the flip side, Bobby Miller, 7.4 ERA, a 1.40 WHIP, 9.15 strikeouts per nine, which is 24%. 3.05 walks per nine, a 275 BABIP, a 7.49 FIP, and a 404 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards these Cubbies. The hitting edge goes towards the Cubbies. 119 WRC plus, which is 3rd, compared to 105, which is 6th. The Cubbies are hitting really well as of late. I would lean towards adding the Cubbies team total over as well, or the full game over. I'd probably lean more towards the team total with the Cubbies, going back to that. But I think I'm just going to sit with just plus 150 with the Cubbies on this spot. Look for them to break out the brooms because Tim, there's no way the Dodgers get swept, right? At home? There's no way the Dodgers get swept at home.
I hope they do, but I don't know. I'm staying off this one. I wish you the best of luck. Chicago sweeps. Chicago's been good with the money line and team total over. There you go. Leaning another over and the Dodgers to avoid the brooms.
And there's no way they get swept.
Let's go Brewers and the over and ride the over until the wheels fall off. There you go. Let's head to the WNBA, Nick, where I have one play. It's in this game.
Yeah, yesterday was a struggle for me. So I'm hoping to get back on track of the WNBA. Let me switch over from.
Did you update the site record?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we were 1-0 on the site yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But I went 0-2 personally. So I only have a very, very small sample. 26 bets is basically nothing for me. So very small sample size in the WNBA for me. So let's get into it. We have the Indiana Fever and the Las Vegas Aces. This line opened up with the Aces as, if this will load, that would be cool. There we go. As 2-point favorites. It's now -4. So we have a 2-point line movement towards the Aces here. Line opened up at a 177. It's now 179. So we'll move towards the over here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow, see if anything helps here. 40% of the tickets, 67% of cash on the over. Line's moving 2 points towards the over. 50-50 on the spread here in this one. And I don't really bet totals too much in the WNBA, but this one kind of speaks to me a little bit. And this could be potentially a double up on a team on a total here. We have the Aces, who have absolutely dominated this series head-to-head. They've won 10 straight. Granted, the last 4 were in Vegas. They've won 10 straight against the Fever and 6-4 ATS in that stretch. Now, the Aces, they are coming in off of a loss against the New York Liberty. Mm-hmm. So this could be a nice little bounce-back game. Granted, the Fever are not a terrible team, but they're not the New York Liberty. Which snapped the Las Vegas Aces 4-game win and cover streak. Now, granted, they did cover against the Liberty. They were 9.5-point dogs. They lose by 4. The Aces have covered in 5 in a row. They've been a covering machine as of late. The Indiana Fever, who had their 5-game winning streak snapped by the Lynx on that 99-88 loss, they bounced back with a 4-point win over the Dream. They did not cover as 5-point favorites in that game, though, and they have now failed to cover in 3 games in a row. They have been an over machine, though. They've gone over in 5 in a row. 100-81, 100-93, 93-86, 99-88, and 104-100 was their scores in those 5 games. I see the Aces being able to put up points in this game. And I also look at the total in this game. The line's moved up 2 points. I think this game soars over. And I would like to move on the over. And I would like to move on the Las Vegas Aces team total over in this game as well. I think that this is a game where the Aces put up 100 points on the Fever, especially after they just lost their last game against the Liberty. So I'm seeing a total of 179 over on Bet365. I'm going to go ahead and bet the over in this game, and I'm going to see also what the team total is here. So I'm going to shop around and try to find the best available numbers, and I'll let you guys know here. But it's going to be a double up on the over for me.
I'm on the Aces. It's my only play of the day in the WNBA. Line movement's moving towards them, but this is an Aces team. Yeah, they just went and they lost to the Liberty, which the Liberty are one of the best teams or if not the best team in the league. And not to mention, the Aces were 9.5-point dogs in that game.
Yeah.
That says a lot for this year. But I'm on the Aces to have a bounce back spot here against the Fever. I know everybody's going to love the Fever at plus money. Nah, give me the Aces here.
Yeah. Over on ESPN Bet, I'm getting the Las Vegas Aces team total over 91.5 at -105. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take the full game over 179 at -110 over on Bet365.
Heard. Lean LA -1.5. Got the Fever and Mystics first half. I don't like the Fever today. Aces money line. Take the spread. Let's get it down. Don't parlay them, though. Same here, Fernando. Separate bets. Fever can't guard a traffic cone. Correct. Taking the over might maybe a sprinkle on game goes to overtime if I can find it. No, I don't need overtime. I know the Aces aren't that good at hitting overs on the road, but Fever can't play a lick of defense. I 100% agree. Let's rapid fire through the last 2 games, Nick, because I have nothing in either one of them.
Yeah. There we go. I was just tracking my team total over there. Let's move on. We have the Chicago Sky. They're 1-point favorites against the Washington Mystics. This line opened up at -3, and actually it was -1.5 when I typed it up this morning. The Mystics are now favorites at -1.5. We've gone from dog to favorite with these Washington Mystics. Line opened up at a 161.5. It's down to a 160.5 here in this spot. We have 75% of the tickets are on the Mystics. 80% of the tickets are on the money line for the Mystics. I have no cash flow in this game. So the line going from dog to favorite makes sense with that type of market. These are two teams that, I mean, when you look at them, they're fighting for a playoff spot, which is absolutely disgusting considering that the Sky have a 2-game lead over the Mystics, and the Mystics would have to jump not only the Sky but the Dream as well for a spot in the playoffs to get their ass whooped by the New York Liberty. So there's that. I have no interest in this game whatsoever. This is a 1-800-gambler, but I mean, obviously the dog to favorite's kind of appealing with the Mystics. And the Mystics have kind of been a covering machine as of late. 3 in a row, 7 of their last 8 they've covered. And they've won 5 of their last 7 games as well, considering they are 11-24. They're on a little bit of a hot run right now, the Mystics, which has brought them back into punching range. And with a win here, they can be a game behind the Sky for a playoff spot. So I lean Mystics in this game. No play for me. I think that the Mystics being favored on the road, 2 games worse than the Sky is kind of telling in this game. Also, though, one last thing I'll have to bring for this matchup, which is probably why I flipped from dog to favorite. Angel Reese is out for the year.
There you go. Which would probably push me towards the Sky more, but I'm staying off of these last 2 games. Nick, I'll let you go over this one, then we'll kind of wrap up for today.
Yeah, we have the Seattle Storm and the Los Angeles Sparks, 10.5-point favorites for the Storm, total of 163.5. I believe this line has moved moved a decent amount. No surprise, the Storm is getting some love here. They're up to a 13 now. This line is now still at a 163.5, though it opened up at a 164.5. 51% of tickets are on the Storm spread. 60% of tickets are on the under. Lines move slightly towards the under. Not a game I'm ultimately getting involved with. I don't want to lay 13 on the road, but do I want to put my hard-earned money on the LA Sparks right now, who have failed to cover in 3 straights and have lost 5 in a row in 9 of their last 10, and I believe are the worst team in the WNBA? No, I do not want to back this team whatsoever. I understand why the end, not only that, they're on a second half of a back-to-back. So this is probably the Storm by 30. So if you want to back this game, maybe instead of laying 13 with the Storm, you lay 19.5.
Maybe.
Add a plus price tag and ask them to win by 20 plus. I think that can happen in this game. That's the only way I would look into this game is maybe taking an alt line with the Storm. Maybe this is a Storm smash spot.
Could be.
Where you take Storm first half in full game and ask them to just blow out the Sparks. Because I think this is a terrible situation for the Sparks. On a back-to-back, you just played Connecticut last night. It's a rested Storm team, which they last played on the 7th. So this has been a little bit, and they are coming in off of a dominant win, though. But they are rested. They last played on the 7th, which was their first game home after a 3-game road trip on the East. For me, this is Storm or nothing, and I kind of want to lay the hammer first half and full game with the Storm.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with it. So, good luck. I'm only taking the aces in the WNBA. Never forget and spray cream today. Okay. Washington -1 in the under. There's the CapperTek. We'll mention that in a minute. Sparks plus 13 in the over. And I'm taking the Sparks spread. Storm can be trash as he's favorites this season. Strongly under, though, too. There you go. I will say that's all the games for today. All of our plays and everything will be over on the CapperTek. So we don't really do the, what do you call it anymore, the recaps. All the recaps will be done. Just go on to the CapperTek. Follow us. If you follow, you get a free week. That's it. And then after the week, we can talk about if you guys are interested in longer deals and stuff. But follow us on CapperTek. That's where you can find all of the recaps. That's going to pretty much do it for today, Nick. We'll be back again tomorrow. By the way, with the CapperTek, all my college football will be up tonight. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that.
By the way, I'm also, one last ad for this is I'm going to take the Storm. I'm taking the Storm first half -6.5, full game -12.5.
Heard. Sounds good. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.